Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Mind, Money, and Body podcast. Today, we have Lucy Parker with us. In this podcast, Lucy will speak about the Dubai real estate market and also share her insights about financial, mental, and physical well being. Welcome to the show, Lucy.
Thank you so much, Vikram, for that lovely introduction. And yes, indeed, I'm very happy to answer all your questions about the real estate industry in the Middle East here in Dubai.
That's great. So what do you think, like in this environment where, economic scenario is marred by COVID-19, what is your point of view? How much time it is going to take to recover? What's happening in the Dubai real estate market, if you would like to share with us?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I think first and foremost, this is a global, unprecedented crisis. So it's not about just happening in one country or one region of the world. So it's unfortunate that it has spread so fast and a lot of people are suffering out there. So I think before we go ahead, what I would like to share is that, my thoughts are with all of those who right now are going through challenging and tough times. We can see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think the most important thing, which I know part of, why I agreed to do this with you today, is about our mindset. It's about our mental attitude to looking at what we can control and not concentrating on what we can't control. And I think that is what is helping people to propel themselves forward.
That's right. So mindset is everything here. Positive mindset matters
Absolutely.
a lot.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So you asked me about where do I see the coronavirus in the Middle East region in Dubai. I think what I'm really, really proud of about the United Arab Emirates is how quickly we've been able to start our lockdown and have all the streets cleaned and sterilized. At no point, Vikram, have we run out of PPE, obviously the protective equipment that is needed. And we have many hospitals, medical staff, and we've never run out of ventilators. So for those people that have been in the UAE, who are residents in the UAE, where health and well-being and safety is being paramount during this crisis, I feel like Dubai has reacted extremely fast and has coped much better than a lot of other regions around the world.
Definitely, Dubai is a dream place. And in fact, I would like to share that Lucy also runs a YouTube channel where she has very interesting videos about Dubai real estate market. So if anyone wants to just check out why to live in Dubai, why to work in Dubai, there are many insightful videos out there. And one video I would like to mention, that there is a video which talks about, reasons why you should be living in Dubai. So just check it out. We'll post a link in the description and just check it out. It's very interesting.
Vikram, if I could just butt in there, sorry to butt in. I think one of the really important things is if we're from the region or we've lived there all our lives, we tend to forget that actually at some point in our lives, there was a reason that brought us to live and move and work to Dubai. And I think it's very important for people to understand those reasons first. Okay, I'm selling real estate. I'm in the real estate industry in Dubai, but really what I'm passionate about is the fact that there's a lot of solutions that can really help people live an incredible lifestyle in a country where there's no tax, where there's sunshine nearly 365 days a year. Maybe you're not British like me and love the sun, but the fact that you can wake up and there's a really nice weather, that you can do things, get out, take the family out. The other thing as well, which is really, really important, probably for a lot of your viewers, Vikram, is the residency visa. I mean, if you're wanting to uproot your family and move or even retire in a country that offers you opportunity, security and safety, then once you actually move to Dubai and you buy a property, which is, believe it or not, only a 1 million dirham price tag, you then receive a residency visa. Did you know that, Vikram?
Yeah, that's great. I think that's great information here.
Were you aware of that or not?
Yeah, I knew about that. There is a requirement of a certain investment.
Because not everyone knows that. I mean, I'm asking you really out of interest personally, because even I didn't know that when I first moved to Dubai 8 years ago. So for those viewers watching, 1 million dirham is approximately $300,000 US dollars.
US dollars.
So, but yeah, like, so there's many reasons people move to Dubai. Of course, the other thing is that perhaps, you know, they want a second residence, or they want to live and work there. They have job opportunities. I mean, the hospitality industry, the tourism industry, you know, Dubai is really, really famous. I mean, let's face it, is there anyone on this planet that doesn't know Dubai? And, you know, hats off to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum, because 40 years ago, Vikram, it was just sand dunes. Can you imagine that? Like, we're talking about a city that was just sand dunes and desert. And in only the last 15 years, have we been able to buy property if we're not from the country. So that 15 years is nothing. I mean, you know, we weren't even at school then, some of us. So in that time, the industry is so new. It's so ready for opportunity. And I think those people that are pioneers and look at that stand to do very well.
That's a great amount of information, I guess. Yeah, of course, definitely. Everyone should be visiting Dubai, and Dubai is a place which is in itself is a success story for the entire world. And as you said, you know, it has grown so fast and everything is incredible. You know, I personally like Dubai very much. So thank you for this.
Yeah, hopefully you said everyone should be visiting, and they should be. And actually, just on the update of the coronavirus status, so there are still repatriation flights, obviously, for people that are wanting to go home from Dubai. But what I understand is that we're hoping that flights and airports will be opened. We are hoping at this point in July. That's not confirmed yet. So that's going to really open up, you know, people's movements once more between as well, because the other thing about Dubai, which we all have to understand, is that Dubai is really a stepping stone to other destinations. So for those people flying from Europe to Australia, or maybe from I don't know, say like Germany down to South Africa, there's a stopping point, and Dubai is that stopping point. Not to mention, you know, all our clientele and our friends from India, Pakistan, that, you know, want to come over and have a great experience, a great holiday. So there's so many people, so many nationalities that come to our country and to our city, and I think that's what makes Dubai so unique.
Yeah, inshallah, things will be back to normalcy soon.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Lucy, any particular books or movies in terms of, you know, investing, or your advice, you know, because these days people are sitting at home, and if you would like to give some suggestions about any particular books on investing or any particular movies, that would be great.
Absolutely. I have a book right here, which I'm going to show to your viewers. So this is called The Millionaire Real Estate Investor, and it's by our founder, Gary Keller. So I work at the world's largest real estate franchise called Keller Williams Real Estate. So it's from the US, from Texas, Vikram, and we're now in 45 countries. So not just the US and Canada, we're all over Europe, obviously Dubai and Africa and Asia. So Gary Keller is our founder, hence Keller Williams. And what Gary Keller does, which is why I love working for a franchise and a platform such as this, is it's really about letting us live a life by design. And that life by design is creating wealth through passive income, helping people to be educated about how, you know, especially right now in all that's happening around the world, people are probably going through real financial difficulty. We all are. And, you know, it's about what are we going to do from here onwards? We can't go back in time, but what can we do different? And what is our new beginning and our learning from this epidemic, from what's happened? And I think it all starts with what are we doing with our money? What are we doing with our opportunities? And how can we invest more, be more savvy? So this book is great for anyone that didn't learn about wealth and investment and money at school. And there's actually not many of us that did, right? We don't really learn about that at school, do we? Did you, Vikram? I don't know.
Not really.
No. What was your first experience about? Has anyone ever taught you about investment through real estate, for example?
Yeah, real estate is one of the most potential ways of investing, but definitely, you know, we need to learn more. And as you said, you know, this book is going to be very useful, and I'm just going to read it, of course.
There you go. So if I may ask, so which country were you brought up in, Vikram?
So this podcast I'm recording from Kuwait.
Ah, okay. But
Yeah.
where were you personally brought up in? You yourself?
Yeah.
No, which country? You were brought up in Kuwait yourself? You went to school in Kuwait?
Yeah, so I'm working in Kuwait. So we are operating as a digital marketing agency in Kuwait.
Yeah, no,
But
I was just really trying to understand which country you're from.
I'm
I
from
was
India.
schooled. Okay, so you were schooled in India. So my question was really, because I was schooled in England as well, that at school when we were young, were we educated about finance, about money, about investment from the age of 10, 11, 12? And I think the answer probably from you would be the same as me. We weren't, were we?
Yeah. So in terms of schooling, yeah, it's not as early as you said
Yeah,
that regarding finance, investing, it
yeah,
comes very late in
yeah,
the education system. In fact, there is no education about finance and personal
yeah,
finance, how to manage personal finance, passive income, as you
yeah.
said. These kind of terms, were new, and after education, people come to know about that. They can
But it's
invest, how
later
they can
on.
manage finances.
You know, and that's one of the reasons, by the way, I chose real estate as my profession, because my passion is to help others unleash their potential, and that is through financial freedom and creating wealth for them and their families, building legacies. And how do we build wealth? Well, real estate is one of the safest assets in the world, and now more than ever I think a lot of people see that.
Definitely, I completely agree with you. Real estate, in fact, I had a few chances where I could invest in real estate in my country, in my homeland, and the
Yep.
experience is really good. So, yeah, real
Excellent.
estate is undoubtedly the most potential way of investing. I've
Yeah,
lost a lot of money in stock market, forex market,
yeah,
and everywhere. I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money in these markets, but real estate is something in the long term. Like I can say that it was safe,
yeah,
and still it's very safe because we have something in hand. It's real estate. It's not like forex or it's not like stock market. Where your money just
yeah.
flies away in a few days.
I, I think also, Vikram, what you just said for the long term, I think if people are coming into real estate with get rich quick, you're not going to make your money. And if you do, you're extremely lucky, but I would never hedge your bet on that. I think real estate is very much about long-term investment, 10 years plus. And, certainly where I'm from in the UK, no, there is no one that hasn't made money from real estate, having their money in more than 10 years.
Completely agree. It's a long-term game. Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
I agree.
I
Uh,
think actually, if I can just add there, because the real estate industry in Dubai is so young, we've been going 15 years. I think what happened is when it first came on the market for people to be able to buy property, that was the very beginning, and there were people that were able to make money very quickly through flipping and selling on. Even there were even queues where someone at the front of the queue would buy and go to the back of the queue and sell again. But those days are over, and that isn't a real estate market in any country in the world. It was simply the beginning of an industry. But now we're in a much more mature market in Dubai, in the real estate world. And so people now are looking at, for example, I have two types of clients, Vikram. I have the investor, and I have the end user that's looking for their home, right? So if I was to just quickly go through do I have time just to do that, right?
Definitely, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
Let's go ahead.
So if I'm going through the end user that's looking for their home, well, what you want, Vikram, in a home is very different to what I want. So we're all different. We're all unique. So I think as a real estate professional, what my job is to listen to your requirements. Yes, I want a garden. I want to be 3 minutes from the children's school. My door needs to face northeast. All those personal requirements, which would be completely different to mine. And then we look at communities and what community works and why. And then, of course, very importantly, we have to look at your budget, because if you haven't got the means, then, that's wasting your time, and I respect your time. And then that's really how we can narrow down the search, and using a professional cuts that wasted time, those wasted property viewings. And we all know we've all been on about 25 property viewings that we should never have been taken on because they were nothing like what we wanted. But unfortunately, the real estate professional never asked the right questions first, right? So that's my job, and that's a job of a real estate professional. Now, if you're an investor, then you're not worried necessarily about the view. You're not worried about if it's 3 minutes from a school. You're worried about the numbers on paper. You want to know that you've got a return every month, every quarter that's coming in, and there's zero risk. And you know, there's not even a month gap between tenants. And if again, if you can clarify that with your real estate professional, if they can ascertain that, then everybody's time is, you know, really well managed, and we find you the right deals. And I mean, actually, I have got a really great deal right now, which, if I may be so bold as to share on here. For example, you know, there's a lot of property that's now coming into the market that's brand new, off plan, under construction. And what I love is, yeah, some people are saying, well, will these projects be finished? Will they not? But what I know is, if you're with somebody that understands the history of the developers, you know who is going to really, really actually deliver what they say they are. They're going to deliver quality, and there's going to be great appreciation in the future because of the surrounding communities, because of the upkeep of the communities. Then it's a win-win. And I have a guaranteed return of investment right now for viewers with 8% every year, Vikram, for 3 years. And I've never seen that before with a top quality developer. So there are many people that offer promises, and they don't always go through with them. But this particular deal, I'm very, very excited about. So if your viewers wanted some information, I can share that.
Surely. And which areas are good in terms of investment in Dubai?
Right. What question do you mean when you say areas for what? I don't know what
areas in Dubai, which are the areas which are emerging fast, which are having good potential.
Good potential for what
In terms of investment returns?
Okay, so then you don't need to necessarily always look at the areas. You want to be looking at the unit size. You want to be looking at the payment plans if you've got a really great cash flow coming in. So I always believe the best opportunities are where you put down the minimum cash and you start to receive your rental income back, right? So we've got projects, for example, where you're only putting down 25% and you're getting the key, and then you have a payment plan after handover of 75% up to 5 years. That's incredible, right? So you're renting it out and you're already receiving back your return you've only put down that initial 25%. So there's lots of opportunities. It's much better probably that I speak person to person with the clients, because everybody has different requirements. And I think the most important thing is the budget. You know, if you've only got 500,000 dirham to spend, then the opportunities are very different and the payment plans are different than if you have 2 million dirham to spend.
That's amazing. I think these are the tips which many of the investors would like to consider. And I'm sure that this podcast is going to be very useful for people who are looking to invest in Dubai real estate and have passive income, good cash flow. Definitely, you know, these are very useful insights. Now we have spoken about financial success. Would you like to advise about mental and physical well-being? How do you manage your health, and how do you manage, some stress or, your work-life balance? Any insights on that, please?
Absolutely. And I don't have the book right here in front of me, but you might want to type it or put it up for your viewers. I can't do that. So it's called The Miracle Morning for Millionaires by David Osborn. And it's all about the most successful people have already started their day well before 8 a.m. So the work starts at 8, but the mindset, the physical, the health, that all comes between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. So I follow this pretty religiously. I love it. And this is my day, and my day follows very similar to what the book says. So, you can't be successful in life, in your work, if you don't have the mindset. It all starts with the mindset. So for example, I will get up at 6 a.m. Bikram, and immediately I do my meditation. And my meditation is only 10 minutes because I can't do longer than 10 minutes. I have a brain that doesn't stop thinking, in case you wondered. Some people might be able to do half an hour, but I do 10 minutes and I'm happy with that. I do it every single day. So I sit there, I Google something on YouTube, 10-minute meditation, and I love it. And it just blanks your mind so that when you have clarity in your mind, greater ideas can come to you during the day. Ideas that were all sort of pushed away because you had all this stress and things and thoughts going around that you can't get rid of. After I do my meditation, then I have my time for prayer. And, you know, whichever religion we are, the viewers are watching, you know, whoever, if you're spiritual, your belief, your goals, it can be whatever you want, but your time to be grateful and gratitude, that's very, very key. Then I would say a really nice affirmation, a positive affirmation, like today I've said, I am bold. You know, tomorrow you could say, I am happy and I am grateful for all I choose, you know, and they are I am words. They're not I will have. It's very, very positive words. Again, this is all in the book. And then after that, I have a journal. So I write down my thoughts, anything that I want to achieve today, my 3 top goals for the day. I also revisit my life goals. I have my 1-year goal, my 3-year and my 5-year goals, and I revisit those every single day. So they're always in the top of my head. And then after that, I have breakfast. And then I do my exercise. Some people like to do exercise before breakfast. It's just the way my day is sort of worked right now. And I go for a long walk for about an hour, hour and a half. And that is so key to me. If I haven't been outside, I haven't had fresh air, it's really tough. And I know people are watching right now who may be in lockdown, and that's not possible. But I would urge you, even if you can put your head outside the window or just walk around your balcony, to really get a little bit of that like air, and the vitamin D is so important. And then a really good healthy breakfast. And I'm not a health expert, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to sort of ride on someone else's profession here, but I think the most important thing is to plan your day and to take breaks so you don't work solid for 6 hours without getting out of your chair. Make sure you're drinking water. I've always got my water here right beside me. And, you know, making time for family, making time for friends, and, you know, just making sure that you're enjoying your full day, your full potential. And the one thing I forgot, of course, most important of all, is I love reading. So every day I will always read a book for about an hour, 2 hours, and I break that up during the day. Love reading.
Incredible insights, Lucy. Thank you so much. I'm sure that my community is going to be benefited by this podcast a lot. You have given a whole lot of information, which is like extremely useful for us, like basics, you know, drinking water, spending time with family, reading. These are some of the habits which everyone should inculcate. I'm so happy that you are sharing these insights with us. And I'm really hoping that we'll do another podcast with you very soon. And thank you so much for the insights, Lucy.
You're absolutely welcome. And thank you for inviting me on here, Vikram. What I love is meeting people from all over the world. And, you know, when you approach me and you're living in Kuwait, we've all got stories to share. And I think that's what makes us human. And that's what makes all of this situation more real, that we are all human beings at the end of the day. Have a great day. And thank you so much.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah.